have found the Genesis frequency. This is Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina welcoming you in to another episode of a show that focuses on your whole life prosperity and success. Whole life prosperity and success by cooperating with the universal laws that are available to each and every one of us. This is Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, radical personal transformation, whole life prosperity and success. Now, stay tuned for another exciting episode that'll move the needle in your life from where you are now to where you want to be.
And back again. Here we are. Welcome in. This is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina coming at you with the Genesis Frequency podcast, back in the saddle after an extended holiday break. Oh, I want to kind of apologize for that, but maybe not. Some R&R that I absolutely desperately needed. So it is so good to be back with you. I've spoken with many of you too who want to get started with some kind of accountability in this new year, doing a remix in 2026 and increasing your productivity, your performance, your goal achievement, whatever it is that will move you from where you are to where you want to be. So keep reaching out, love having those conversations and moving you into whatever works where you and I can work together and preferably with some other like-minded people as well. So welcome into this episode, this new season, this season 8 of the Genesis Frequency podcast. Excited to get going with you here. Let's dive right in. And I want to kick off this new year right off the bat with I end the year a lot with, hey, what do you want in the new year ahead? But we're going to just I want to do a 10-point deep dive today. And this is all about the mind. Okay. Because that's where everything starts. I'm sure you're like everybody else where you maybe just you sat back and you said, I had an idea. And that's what we're going to talk about. Where does this stuff come from? So we're going to talk about the one mind, your power to think, direct, and create a new life. Because that's what personal development, professional development, leadership development, self-improvement is all about. Creating transformation in your own experience. That's probably why you're here listening to this. If you're new, maybe you're just curious. But if you're someone that wants to make that move and maybe make a quantum leap from where you are now to where you want to be, you're in the right place at the right time. And I encourage you to listen to these episodes over and over and over again. And you know what? There's 7+ years of material at the genesisfrequency.com or wherever you listen to your podcast. And although most people put little to no value on that which they get for free, I recommend that you don't do that because the information that's out there is timeless. It's not dated, it doesn't age. This is about the human experience, how we're wired, how the mind works. And as most of you know, I'm not a medical doctor, but my PhD is in the power of the subconscious mind, how it works, and how it influences what shows up in our field of experience. So I have a little bit of experience with this, a little bit of background applying this to my own life and really moving out of the darkest tomb of, boy, right up at death's door to where I am right now, which is what I consider a pretty successful life. So let's dive in. The one mind, your power to think, direct, and create a new life. There comes a moment in every person's growth, their personal growth, their professional growth, whatever you're looking at, when something within you says, I'm ready for more. That's why I do what I do. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's most of you listening to this podcast. I'm ready for more. And you know what? Not necessarily more money, more stuff, more recognition. Yeah, that too. That can all be part of it, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. But more meaning. How about more meaning, more clarity, more peace, more alignment? It's the moment when the old way of thinking simply no longer fits. And that inner prompting, it's not random. It's not random. It's your soul, your very soul expanding, inviting you into a higher dimension of living. So today's conversation again is a 10-point deep dive all about that dimension. Not as theory, but as lived, repeatable, practical truth. And if anything within here, as always, resonates with you, reach out to me. Let's have a further conversation about all of this and applying it to your life, to your living experience. So, number one, the one mind beyond all minds, or we could say behind all minds, right? Across every spiritual tradition, philosophical system, and even modern physics tells us there is a universal agreement. There is only one mind. And hey, just be open. Just be open right now, right? There's only one mind, and each of us uses it in a unique way. Every philosophy and science agrees on this. There's only one mind, and each of us use it in a unique way. You can call it universal mind, call it what you want, infinite intelligence, the field, all these with uppercase letters, right? Divine matrix, higher consciousness, source, God, soul. Words change, but principles don't. Truth doesn't change, no matter how we approach it. The master teacher, and all master teachers for that matter, but the master teacher Jesus called it the Father within. Socrates called it nous, Nous. Pronounce it how you want. Nous, nous. Emerson called it the oversoul. Einstein called it the mind of God behind the laws of physics. But here's the key, no matter what you call it, you are not separate from it. You think inside it. You create through it. And I can't stress enough, this is not poetic language. It's a universal principle of consciousness. All right, point two. Thought is creative. Make no mistake about it. Thought is creative, not symbolic. Most people think thoughts are simply passive. They believe thinking simply reflects life. But you and you listen to the show, right? You're listening to the Genesis frequency and sharing it with your friends and everybody you know. You and I know better. Thought is not a mirror, it's a mold. Thought is a mold. Thought forms the blueprint from which life takes shape. Our thoughts create the life living. Our dominant thoughts wrapped with feeling and emotion. Thought forms the blueprint. Okay. So this is not abstract. This is real. This is how it works. And if you were to just take a step back and examine your life, you would realize that everything that showed up in your life has been a dominant thought for some time wrapped with feeling and emotion. So let's break it down because a thought really has, and this is within my 10-point share today. A thought has three stages, okay? Number one, a thought begins as an idea in that universal mind we just talked about. That's where the thought begins, as an idea. And ideas come from a deeper place than the brain. When we talk about the mind, most people get a picture in their consciousness of the brain, but mind is in all and through all. So know that ideas come from a deeper place than the brain. They emerge out of the infinite. That's why you sometimes say, this idea came out of nowhere. I don't know where it came from. Or maybe you say, something just told me, Or how about, I love this. This I call inspiration. I suddenly knew what to do. That's inspiration. Inspiration in spirit, right? That's not coincidence. That is the one mind expressing through you. All right, within this point number 2 about thought, you give the idea shape through attention. You give the idea shape through attention. What you dwell on expands. What you ignore dissolves. Attention is the sculpting tool of the soul. And here's the hard truth about all that. You can't get a new life with an old way of thinking. Just to see it just it's just like you can't plant weeds and harvest roses. You cannot plant fear thoughts and expect peace. You can't plant resentment and expect freedom. You can't plant scarcity and expect abundance. Life reflects thought, not the other way around. All right. That's why I often tell everybody, hey, what are you doing? You spend so much time in worry and doubt and fear. You're actually asking for that because you're emotionally engaged with it. You're asking for that to show up and press out into your life experience. So you want to be very mindful of all this. Number 3 about thoughts, your thoughts manifest as conditions and experiences. Thoughts crystallize into emotions. Emotions crystallize into decisions. Almost all of our decisions are emotionally based. Decisions crystallize into habits. Habits form those paradigms, right? And those habits crystallize into circumstances, into events, into experiences. So the question then becomes, who is thinking your thoughts? Your habits or your paradigms, your multitude of habits, or your higher self? Remember, you can choose this. You can choose to think from on high. All right. So that's the 3 stages of thought within point number 2. Now let's move to number 3 here within this outline for today. Reform. When we reform, think of something. I'm going to reform that room, reform that wall over there. I'm going to take out that wall and reform that living space. How about reforming the God thought or whatever you want to call it? And let me say this as clearly as possible. Your life rises or falls to the level of your concept of the infinite. I'm not telling you what to think here, but more of how to think and that part of you where to think from. Your life rises or falls to the level of your concept of the infinite. If your concept of the universe is judgment, punishment, or limitation, you will shrink back from life. If your concept of the infinite is partnership, creativity, and possibility, you will expand. We must reform our God thought, meaning we must elevate our understanding of the source within us. And it is within. We've been given instruction about this. It is within you. The infinite is not distant. The infinite is not withholding. The infinite is not selective. The infinite is not temperamental. The infinite is present, accessible, inclusive, responsive, creative, intelligent, orderly, generous. A universal principle cannot be offended by you. It cannot be upset with you. It cannot withhold good from you. But you can withhold yourself from it by thinking too small. Take some time. Make sure you put in your notes. Hopefully, you're taking notes. It's good that you're listening, but you have to take notes. Then you want to go back and you want to listen again and look at your notes at the same time. You want to read and listen and impact all your senses so this really sinks in. And this is about applying and and making an application in your life, taking action. All right, number 4, the I am. And this is your point of power. Know this, your point of power, your I am. One of the highest teachings across mystical traditions is this: your most powerful creative words are I am. Not I wish, not I hope, not I want. And my goodness, you look at social media, you see that all the time. I will be getting, I will be, you will get someday. No, not any of that. I am is the bridge between the infinite and the individual. But here's the catch: you cannot just say affirmations from the lips. And I know almost everybody does this by they're just by rote, or whatever you want to call it, whatever the word is I'm trying to grab here. You can't just spit them out and expect something to happen. You must feel them. You have to feel them from your center, from your very being. You must state the truth of your being rather than the conditions of your past. How many of us do that? State the conditions of our past over and over and over again. My beloved sweet mother used to slam her hand into her forehead. I'm so stupid. She's just kidding with herself, but you know what? That has an impact. So you must state the truth of your being, the truth, and affirm the truth of your being. I am clarity. I am peace. I am strength. I am guided. I am capable. I am connected. I am enough. These are truths of your being speaking from your higher self. This is not self talk. This is self recognition. Now, remember an earlier point. Where are you dwelling? Where are your thoughts dwelling? Dwell on the truth of your being right here. All right, number 5, and we'll expand on these in future upcoming episodes. So I'm going to go back probably to each and every one of these because there's some good stuff here. Number 5, the kingdom is within you. The kingdom, the cave that holds maybe you're afraid to enter that cave, but it holds everything you want, and that is within you. It's a state of consciousness. It's a state of conscious alignment. When the master teacher said, the kingdom is within you, he wasn't speaking spiritually. He was speaking scientifically. Yeah, let that sink in. The highest states of clarity, peace, intuition, guidance, and innovation come from within, not from the senses. When we center ourselves, we access a different dimension of intelligence. Have you ever noticed that answers show up when you stop trying so hard? Or maybe when you sit in the silence, you get that clarity that comes to you in the silence? Or solutions emerge when you just say, you know what, I let go. That's it. I let go. I surrender, right? That's because you momentarily stepped out of the limited mind and into the universal mind. All right, number 6, before time gets away from us here, the problem of separation. And this is where most people are in consciousness, that sense of separation. And all suffering, all of it, every bit of it, arises from one illusion: the illusion that you are separate from your source. When you believe you are on your own, you become fearful, controlling, reactive, really survival driven. You're operating from that animal instinct part of you alone. When you remember you are connected to unlimited, infinite intelligence, you become calm, creative, and clear. Your thinking will actually shift. Your thinking shifts from fear to vision, from reaction, that animal react, right? Fight or flight reaction, to intention. Your thinking shifts from control to trust, from confusion to inner guidance. Life does not change first. Thinking does, Remember, it's be, do, have. What are you being? Are you focusing on being the truth of what you are? 7, a practical mind reset formula. Remember I said a remix in 2026, right? Here's a practical mind reset formula. Things you can do, application and action, right? I'm all about that. Here's a simple, powerful, repeatable practice. Number 1, notice the old thought. We have to do this. This is how we make paradigm shifts. This is the work I do. Shifting old paradigms, shifting those habits. We got to do this work. So we want to notice it and we want to catch it. We want to catch the pattern before it runs you and runs away with you in your experiences. Number 2, we want to name what it's doing. I'm having this thought, is it shrinking you? Is it sabotaging you? Is it dragging you back into an old identity, an old way of thinking, something you don't want? Step 3, you want to neutralize it. Say, and recognize it for what it is. This is just a thought, not a truth of my being, just a thought. You can brush it away. And number 4, you can replace it with a higher thought. Develop your own list of those I am statements. Copy the truths that I shared with you here, and write out some of your own. You are capable. You are wise. I am wise. Right? Whatever they are. Have a go-to list, an arsenal. Develop an arsenal of higher thought. I am statements. And I am statements that align with your intention. Say it's for abundance. I am wealthy. Say it's for health. I am health in expression. I think you get the picture. Plenty of episodes out there on that. Go to my website and search for them. Number 5, feel its reality. Remember, emotion fuels creation. So you have to feel and lean into these. We're not just repeating them. I am whole. That doesn't do anything. You got to feel into it. Number 6, act from the new thought immediately. Take action. Remember, this is about application and action. A single aligned action anchors the shift. This is how you take dominion over your mind without force, without struggle. All right, let me share with you number 8 here and my 10-point thing here. We're getting close to the end here. A story of revenge. And here's an example, okay? And this could be a lot of different people, but I'll just do this in general terms without names. A man lost his business, his marriage, and his son within a short period of time. He hit a depth of despair most people never experience. And I can relate to this because I was there. And no, this isn't me, but it could be. Now, at his lowest moment, he was told something simple, but it struck a chord. It resonated with him. He was told, your future will be a product of what you think, not what you fear. But we have to be careful there because sometimes, even though he was told this, sometimes if we hold those fears dominant, wrapped with feeling and emotion, they will play out as well. But gradually, this gentleman began practicing a new way of thinking, finding value in past experiences, looking for possibility instead of pain, trusting that guidance could rise within him, taking small, purposeful actions, and refusing to live in the old mental story. We all have those stories, and they can define us, and we can choose to live in the energy of them, or we can extract the wisdom gained and moved on and point back to it as something that shaped us because we took the good. We found the good. What is the good in this? If there's good in everything, what is the good in this? And how can I learn and grow from it? Right. And bit by bit, he rebuilt his whole life. Not because conditions changed, that's the whole point, but because his consciousness changed. And that same power is within you. All right, here's more application. Point 9. This is whenever I talk to groups or individuals, it's all about what is it, how does it work, and what will it do for you? And this is the what it will do for you part, if you will. When you work with the one mind consciously, number one, your stress decreases. Your stress will decrease because you stop fighting life. Number two, creativity increases because ideas have room to rise. We got to give them room. We have so much bandwidth, right? So creativity increases. You'll notice that. Number three, you make clear decisions because you're not reacting from fear. Number four, you develop inner confidence because you recognize your eternal source. Number five, you manifest what you want faster because your thoughts are not divided. This is not magic, my friends. It's not magic. It's mental alignment with universal law, with truth. Don't forget that. We're not practicing hocus pocus, airy fairy stuff here. This is law. This is how it works. And number 10, here's your action steps. So really, your action steps are wrapped into everything. But here's some well defined action steps for this week. Simple steps to put into practice right now. Number one, center in the morning, morning centering. Take 3 minutes to affirm there is one mind and I think in it and from it. Today I think clearly, calmly, and creatively. Step two, replace one thought pattern. Generally, we're only effective if we work on one of those habits, one of those patterns. Choose one. Sit with this. Identify the one that you really need to make a shift from living in energetically, emotionally, and take that one recurring negative thought and replace it with the truth. I mean, and bombard it, bombard your consciousness with it. Write it down, affirm it, speak it, say it out loud over and over and over and over and over again. And what happens is every time you slip into that old pattern, your subconscious mind will put this right on the screen of your mind and start affirming it for you. So do this. Replace one thought pattern. Number three, act. Act from your higher self. Make one decision each day that is guided by intuition, not fear. I give thanks every day and practice Thanksgiving. Write down 10 things before you start your day that you're thankful for. But to this point, acting from your higher self, I always pray a prayer of thanksgiving to be open to the wisdom, inspiration, and guidance that I know is already within me. So we want to make our decisions from that place, not from a fear-based place. Number four, evening integration. In the evening before bedtime, you want to journal 3 things every night. When did I remember my alignment? When did I forget? And what did I learn about my mind today? So we're being mindfully aware, right? So we want to notice what we're noticing throughout our day. This will help us to be fully present as we go on, because at night we're saying, yeah, I don't know. Was I unconscious today? Was I an unconscious competent just going through the motions? Or did I notice some things? And we're going to start to journal about these just a little bit. You don't have to spend hours writing. Just notice. Notice what you're noticing and log it. So I want to just give you this short mindfulness piece right here that you can really just sink into as we wrap it up today. Just take a deep breath. And as you exhale, and even close your outer eyes if it's safe to do so, as long as you're not watching kids or the elderly or somebody that needs your help, or you're not driving or operating machinery or an iron. Just release the surface mind, the busy mind. Just let it go. The part of you that tries to figure everything else or figure everything out alone, just let it go. Just notice your breath, your breathing, and shift your awareness inward into that quiet center where clarity lives. And then just silently and quietly with me affirm, there is one mind. Just say this. There is one mind. It thinks through me. It knows through me. It guides me. It expresses as me. And just feel yourself aligning with the infinite intelligence that has always been with you and always will be. And let this quiet affirmation settle into your awareness. I am not separate from my source. I am connected, guided, inspired, supplied, and strengthened. My thoughts are creative. My thinking is clear. My life responds. Just rest in that awareness for a moment. Just rest momently right here. And then when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Let's take another deep breath. And, just remember, as we wrap this up today, you don't need to force your life into shape. You, you need only to align your thinking with the reality and think uppercase R. I'm not talking about appearances here. Thinking with the reality that is already within you. Think of consciousness with an uppercase C, right? You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not alone. You're right where you need to be, moving into this awareness that you are more. You are an individualized expression of infinite intelligence, learning how to think consciously, intentionally, and creatively. And as you do this, everything within here, your world transform. Your world can't help but transform. Your life will transform. And I encourage you to reach out to me, to have a conversation about the transformation you would like to experience for you personally, in your business, in your professional life, in your corporation, within your culture, within your company, within your small business, whatever it is. This is the transformative work that I do. We have some programs and classes coming up, and I also work with individuals as well. So reach out to me, successappointment.com. I'm also looking for individuals, recruiting individuals that would love to move into this field of success development, leadership development. I'd love to have that conversation with you as well. Same calendar, successappointment.com opens up in your time zone. Find a spot and it'll get on my calendar. It'll create a Zoom link and we'll meet and just, see what you want to transform in your life. See what you want to create in your world in this year ahead. For now, it's Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kosmina. You've been listening to the Genesis Frequency Podcast. Please share it, share it, share it, share it, and know that I wish for you an infinitely spectacular day. God bless you.